are after a strong session for tech stocks yesterday. The NASDAQ up yesterday. This morning, we see a continuation of that, up 48 points. Yesterday, the NASDAQ was up after 2 days of heavy losses. The Dow Industrials this morning, however, down 122 points, and investors are standing by for speeches from key Federal Reserve officials later today, led by Chairman Jay Powell. Joining me right now is Global Beta Advisor CEO Vince Lowry. Also joining the conversation all morning long this morning, Fox Business's Dagan McDowell, Strategic Wealth Partners President and CEO Mark Tepper, and Yardeni Research President Ed Yardeni. Great to see everybody this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Great to have you. And Vince, I'm going to kick it off with you. Your thoughts on where we are in terms of this rotation going on. A couple of days we were talking about money coming out of tech, and now we're looking at valuations being pushed up once again in tech. What do you make of it?
Well, I think that we follow at our firm very closely the valuations of all sectors of the stock market, and growth is extremely overvalued. Trading at about 3.8 times revenues. They've never been this high before. Value across the board is about, large value is about even, at about roughly where it should be over a long period of time. The extreme values in the market are small cap value and mid cap value. Small cap value by May of this year was down to 23 cents in capitalization for every $1 in revenue. It hadn't seen that level since 1982. Anyone investing in small cap value in May of this year is up 45 to 50%. I believe small caps and mid caps, especially on the value side, are entering a long-term bull market. So our view is that's where real valuations are, and lower risk than particularly large cap growth, and even some large cap value.
So then you want to, so you want to buy small cap and tech then, you like?
Well, no, I want to buy small cap value and mid cap value stocks, and mostly in the ETF arena, because it's easier to be able to get a large basket of stocks. That's where, when you can buy a larger basket with low price to sales, we know from research that your forward-looking return is much better by hundreds of basis points if you buy these baskets of stocks that have fallen out of favor when their price to sales is way below their long-term average. And they're at extreme levels with small value and small mid-cap. Mid-cap and
I guess
small.
I guess that's where the growth in earnings are. Let me bring in Ed Yardeni. Ed, your thoughts on the backdrop here. We have this new information from Governor Cuomo that he's putting this curfew in place at 10 o'clock. Do you expect that to impact the economic story, the growth story in New York, or what is your take on the backdrop here on the economy?
Well, I think clearly we're seeing another wave of this pandemic. We had one earlier this year. We had one basically after July 4th. And now as we've kind of gone back to school, we're seeing this latest wave. And it's probably going to have an impact on the economy. We're not going to go back to lockdowns. I don't think that's where we're heading. Though I did notice this morning that one of Biden's advisors suggested that maybe a 4 to 6 week lockdown would help. But I don't think the economy could handle that, and I don't think that's where we're going to go. But I think we're going to go from a V-shaped recovery, which is what we've had basically from May through October, to something that looks more like a Nike swoosh. It's going to slow down. And I think we're just going to have to wait until we actually get a vaccine that works and gets distributed to get to some semblance of normal. And that could be the second half of next year, and that's optimistic.
So do you want to just hold off on going too deep into investing in stocks right then? I know you've been bullish, but I mean, if you see the backdrop slow down,
Yeah, I'm very, very often asked, what do you do here? And, I don't have much advice for anybody who's been out of the market. If you've been in the market, I'd stay with it, and I'd stay fully invested. I think the market's going to go sideways for a while until we get through the January 5th Georgia elections.
Yeah, it's all about the Georgia elections. Vince, before you go, final word from you. Do you want to invest here, put new money to work in those small and mid caps, or do you too look for something of a sideways market?
I'm not looking for a sideways market. I think that if you want to make money, you have to go in when there's uncertainty. You can look at the probabilities. I think the probabilities are the Senate's held by the Republicans, and I think the market will like that better than not. But you need to
definitely.
really get in now, and you need to get in, and I would go where the valuations are. If you want to stay with large cap, go large cap value. If you want to really get and I don't think it's aggressive to take big positions in small cap value ETFs right now in mid cap. I think that's where there's the least amount of risk in the market, and I would get in now. You can't get in after all the good news or the news is certain. You have to get in when the news is uncertain and use your own probabilities to do that.
All right, we will leave it there. Vince, great to have you this morning. Thanks so much. Vince Lowry joining us there. We'll take a break. We are just getting started this morning. A lot